Hey, this is J.R. St. Julien with the St. Julien Real Estate Group of eXp Realty, and welcome to my San Diego housing market update for May 2024. Stay tuned. Okay, as we rapidly approach and roll into the summer sales season here in San Diego, I'm gonna give you a quick market update. Not a lot has changed with the market over the last couple months, but there are a few nuances and a couple things that's worth noting that I wanna tell you about in this market update. Quick overview, San Diego market is healthy. It is continuing to appreciate. That is directly a function of lower inventory. Despite the higher interest rates and lower level demand, the inventory is low enough to allow the market to remain somewhat competitive, I would say very mildly competitive, and to continue to appreciate. Specifically, the median home sales price in San Diego County has increased 11.4% year over year. So from this time last year to this time this year, and more specifically from the beginning of this year through the end of April, we saw a 10.6% appreciation in the median home price. Now that's a fairly hefty amount of appreciation. I would say really just in 4 months, we appreciated 10.6%. Yes, we have. Now we are seeing some other numbers to support that. We've seen the average days on market go down a little bit, slightly down to 27 days is the average days on market throughout the county. That's down 2 days from last month and actually 2 days from last year. So that number is kind of in line with what we're seeing with the appreciation. It's saying, hey, we're having a healthy, mildly competitive market right now. We are showing some signs of maybe a slight decrease in the level of buyer demand and or increase in the level of inventory that's reducing the absorption rates of what we have available. Now, the way we measure kind of that combination of demand versus inventory is through the months of supply of inventory. And while we're still sitting at a fairly healthy number for the San Diego market, it is higher than it was at the beginning of this year. Specifically, at the beginning of the year, we started at 1.5 months of inventory for detached homes, and now that number is up to 1.8 months of inventory. And for attached homes, we started at 1.7 months of inventory at the beginning of the year, and now we're sitting at 1.9 months of inventory. So not a drastic increase, but there's definitely something there that's telling us that, hey, the demand inventory equation is kind of spreading a little bit, showing us that the market is getting a little bit less competitive than it had been in the last couple months. And we're seeing a slightly less level of demand in general. And as a result, you may notice more homes sitting on the market, maybe even additional price reductions, things that you may not have seen as frequently now that homes sit on the market for a little bit longer. Now, that being said, the average days on market is still decreasing. So this is a very, very small data point that we're looking at, and we haven't seen it yet impact the market as a whole. But I am starting to see it in pockets in certain areas, and I figured that it's worth noting as a result. So a couple takeaways from that little tidbit of information. Okay, so the market is still appreciating. That being said, it seems like the level of demand is slightly decreasing, which makes sense because interest rates had got down to like the mid 6s at the beginning of the year, and then they've kind of drifted up to the mid 7s, where the average was around 7.25% at the end of April, beginning of May. And since then, we've started to come down off that number, but that was a peak for this year. And simultaneously, we're seeing higher level of inventory, more sellers coming into the market, and then that interest rate peak will cause a little bit less of a demand, therefore causing the months on inventory to increase. So that's what we're seeing. And I can actually tell you, I'm seeing homes sit on the market a little bit longer when there is more competition of similar type homes on the market. So it's not across the board thing. Like if you go into one zip code, there are only maybe 2 or 3 homes for sale that match a particular criteria. Or if you go somewhere else, there may be 10 to 15 for sale that match that criteria. So those areas where we're seeing more homes that match that particular criteria on the market, we're seeing those maybe sit a little bit longer, seeing some price reductions. And while it's not yet affecting the overall appreciation in this market or even days on market on average, we're starting to see little pockets of, I would say, softness in the market, which I would say is probably a good thing considering we had 10.6% of appreciation since the beginning of this year. So if you are thinking about buying a home, the key takeaways are, hey, we've seen 10.6% appreciation from the beginning of the year. And at the same time, right now, we're seeing some signs of a little bit of softness in the market where things are becoming a little bit less competitive. Maybe homes are not getting multiple offers, or you even have the opportunity to negotiate a lower price than the advertised listing price. So if you're thinking about buying a home and you're capable of buying one in the current interest rate environment, now may be a great time for you to start looking. Typically the summer months are when people like to move, and therefore the competition is at the highest level throughout the year. But honestly, right now, I would say competition was probably a little bit stiffer in February and March than what I'm seeing immediately right now in the month of May. And so likely that same level of competition will roll into the month of June. So if you're thinking about buying a home, I would love to chat with you about your personal situation and what I could do to help facilitate that home purchase and how I can help guide you through that transaction. I would love to be a resource, so definitely reach out if that's something that you're thinking about. And on the flip side, if you're thinking about selling a home, this is a market now where the details matter. How am I bringing it? How am I marketing the property to the market? What do I need to do in order to pair the property so it's presented to the market in its best possible light? The best homes are still getting multiple offers. The best priced homes, the most attractive homes, those are the ones that's attracting more attention and more buyers, and attention is key in the current market. All of those things really matter. Guidance on what to do and what not to do in order to prepare your home for more. Those things matter tremendously. A simple paint job that costs you $1,000 can net you an additional $10,000 on the sale of the home. Especially in this market where the competition is slightly decreasing. We still have a great price growth, so you definitely can still net and make out very well as a seller in this San Diego market. But it's very important today, if you're thinking about selling, that you do it the right way. Don't cut the corners. Don't take the cheap route. It may take a $5,000 or $10,000 investment into your home, but if that investment nets you an additional $20,000, $25,000, $50,000 from that investment, that's an investment that's worth making. So it's very important that you're talking to a professional that knows what the buyers in the market want, that's out there actively every day looking at homes and interacting with both buyers and sellers. And so if you're thinking about selling, give me a call. Love to chat with you, talk about your situation, give you my recommendations, and let you know what I can do to help you sell your home for the highest possible price. So thank you for watching this video. Hopefully you found this educating and informative about the San Diego housing market. Again, my name is J.R. St. Julien, and if you have any questions about real estate whatsoever, I would love to be the resource that answers those questions for you. Feel free to reach out to me. My contact information will follow this video. I love to talk real estate, so if you got a question, hit me up. Take care.